Good morning. Hello, everyone. I am here joining you. My name is Angela Harmon, and I'm with my teammate and friend,
Julie,
Julie. Yes, Julie. So we are here for Conscious Conversations. This is Conscious Conversation number 3. We've had a couple of opportunities to talk amongst each other, and we feel that as we talk consciously about what we want to have in life, we have a can-do approach about life, even when life brings us things that we don't expect or ask for or want. We know it's a part of our greater good. And let us introduce you to our slide for today so you can see what we're talking about. And today is May 29th. I can't believe how fast the year is flying. Can you, Julie?
no, it's going to be June in 2 days. It's just insane.
Amazing,
Summer,
amazing.
summer is here.
Yes. So we're doing conscious conversations in a time of social distancing. We came up with a quote. Julie, will you share that quote that we invented
Sure.
during this time?
Yeah, not every happy ending, but it has a new beginning. It's a great,
Yes, I love
right?
it. I
Yeah.
love it. Not everything has a happy ending, but it has a new beginning. And we're in a new beginning phase. So, the topic for today, which I will share with you, and then we'll go back to our full screen so you can see us. In a time of social distancing, there are career changes for people, and some have been out of work, some have been laid off, some were already off and looking for work, and some of us became out of work during this time. So now what? So that's our topic for today, and I'll stop sharing that screen for a while, and then we'll give you our screen so you can reach out to us, because as we have these conversations, we want you to be able to reach out to us and other experts that we have at our in our group and in our toolkit, as we will call it, because you have to pull out a different tool for a different thing that's happening. You know, you don't need a hammer when you need a screwdriver. So each of us has our expertise, and we want to be here for you as you go through not just COVID-19, but life in general, for your spiritual and mental wellness and your health wellness and our ability to live life fully, even in uncertain times. So Julie and I were talking about the fact that we have uncertainty in our life. And what's going on in my life is that I've been told that I have 30 days left in the job that I've had for 25 years. And I've got a smile on my face, but there's something underneath happening too. So Julie and I wanted to talk about this on camera, because we know that others are going through this as well. So I'm going to let her ask me questions to kind
Yes.
of weed out what's going on with me that I might not even know that's going on with me.
So you've been at this job for a very long time, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, you get the word that the position is no longer. Was it a layoff? Was it a firing? What happened, and how did you feel when it happened?
Well, we're calling it in the company I'm with a resource action, and this is not the first time that this has happened to me. It happened in '08, and I had just bought my car, and I was living in an apartment in Buckhead, and just getting over a divorce. It felt like, although it was 5 years later, it felt like I was just getting into my prime. And when I heard it then, I cried like a baby. I was so upset, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I was the sole provider for my home. And this time, which is 12 years later, that job that I got, because I ended up staying with IBM another 12 years. So this time when I got the call, I wasn't in the same place that I was in '08, and I had 25 years, and I qualify for more than I realized as far as where I am in my life. I'm still young enough to go do something new, and got a little bit of a package. So it's a resource action in the sense that they're eliminating my position, so it's not a firing. And when people ask me, I say layoff, but I don't even know what layoff really means. But I can return to the company if
Oh,
something, or in this 30 days, I could actually find something in
with the company.
with the company.
Okay,
So
so it's
those
not
are
that.
options too. So it's not performance related. It's they call it resource action. So they're reducing resources and they're reducing it worldwide.
So as a result of it, though, you will be out of work as you know it in
Yes.
30. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
there's so that's adding to more uncertainty that's already,
That's
you know,
exactly right.
surrounding us right now.
That's
So,
exactly right.
I know you're not alone in this. There's so many people that have either lost jobs or been laid off or furloughed, or like myself, my hours have been reduced, like by three-quarters or more. So, I went from, having some consistent income to almost nothing. So, how does that feel knowing that in 30 days that you're not going to have uh, something that you go to that pays your bills consistently, the security, which we know that that's not a real word, but
I know, I know. It's funny, peculiar that it's happening right now, Julie, because you and I have been talking about this subject as far as what we're doing. We're building a community ourselves that can help support other communities. And what I'm seeing after a week, because it happened a week ago yesterday, that it must be time for something new for me. One of the things that I do realize that over time, and I don't know whether it's my age combined, that everything happens for a reason. Even when it happened in '08, it happened for a reason. But the reasoning this time, when I first heard that, my checks will stop because I'm so used to looking at my phone and seeing the deposit and making sure it's there. That's not going to be happening anymore as of June, the end of June. And so the thought of that initially startled me, I guess, for lack of a better word. But something else immediately kicked in. I took that Thursday to think about it and I slept overnight. And I don't know if everybody's going to understand this, but the word that came to me when I woke up the next morning is that I'm covered.
mm,
And I made a vision board the first time out of the box with a resource action. And there's a figure of a person on a sofa
hmm
covered in money.
mm,
And
I love
I
it.
think that's what it means that I won't need to want for money. And I wondered about that because that was the thing that came up for and insurance. So I will have what I need to have when I need to have it, is
Yeah.
what I'm believing.
Well, that's a way to look at it. I know a lot of people are struggling to be able, they want to be able to look at it that way, but I think a lot of people are, they have children or they have, high overhead, they have, obligations, and they're not sure, how to be able to find peace with their furloughs, their layoffs, their reduced hours, and so on and so forth. And I have the same mindset as you because, as I mentioned, I had my hours reduced drastically, but, miraculously, I filled out an unemployment application, which I've never done in my whole entire life. I filled out an unemployment application, and then, I waited and waited, and all of a sudden, in one day, I had like 5 deposits for my unemployment money. Plus, not only did I get my unemployment money, but I got money from the government as well, from the federal government as
Wow.
well. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I
Yes.
agree with you. They're always covered or taken care of. And those are my words are taken care of. But there's people out there that struggle with that, having that faith and having that trust.
Well, that's where we come in,
Mm,
because this didn't accidentally happen for me. This has been on purpose. There was a reason why I didn't get off board at the last time. I needed more time for whatever it is that I prepared for today. And we've talked about this before personally. I don't know whether we broadcast it this way, but I'll say again that we are where we are during COVID-19 for a reason too.
yes.
Exactly what we're doing, whether we're having a baby, whether we're graduating high school or college, whether we're going through a divorce, whether we're getting married, whether we're getting laid off.
Hmm
We're where we are for a reason too. And the skill sets that have brought us where we are. Everyone, whether they're feeling depleted and less or not, or whether they're feeling greater than, our mindsets brought us to where we are. So
Yes.
we're here to help with our mindset, the spirit of life, to know that that is what carries us. And I'm going to be my own case study in
Mhm.
this case with having come to this part of my life and losing a job that I loved and depended on for quite some time, and now it's gone.
Right. And just to tell everybody that's watching, I think it's really important to know that one of the reasons why Angela and I came together, and one of the reasons why we're doing these videos, is we want to be that that support system for you. You can reach out to us so we can you know share some of the tools that we use to be able to help us not fall victim to the circumstances, but rise above them. What did you call it? Going above the line? Is that
Right,
what?
right. How we spend our time. Yes. So those of you who know that I'm a 7 habit facilitator, habit 3 is put first things first, and it's living above the line. Things urgent are going to happen to us, urgent and important simultaneously, like COVID-19 shutting down the world. And then things are important but not urgent, which is planning, preparation, and rest and value clarification. And whatever I did that equipped me to get to this day was in the above the line living. Below the line is worry and fear and waste and other people's ideas about something that don't resonate with you. Those are time wasters. And in a time of COVID-19 and beyond, why would you want to waste time?
Well, yeah, I mean, life is very precious. So we want to maximize and enjoy as much as we possibly can while we're here. And
Yes.
in spite of the challenges, I mean, we're always continuously faced with challenge. It's just a matter of, how we handle it. So, yeah, I love that we get to share that there's always possibilities. There's always opportunity for abundance. There's always possibilities of learning and growing. And the other thing that I love is, your message again is you're always covered, and mine is you're always taken care of. And I want people, everybody that I know, everybody that I come in contact with, to help them to understand that they are always taken care of. I want to share that so much with people. And I know you have that same passion.
Well, it comes to them. I didn't have that. That's not a term that I used. It was familiar to me.
Hmm.
And it just happened to be on the vision board when I looked at it again. And I don't know that I'll use it except to explain what I woke up to, because those are not the words. The words I use are: when the end is held firmly enough in consciousness, the means to bring it about has already been set in motion. And I say that every day
Yeah.
because I want my alignment, my vibration, even though I might be sad. So I don't want anybody to get me wrong that I've not had sad moments around this, because I have.
Yes.
And what I do is turn on something funny so I'll laugh, so I can stay in a higher vibration than loss, because it's all about having a greater idea, not a lesser idea, because what we focus on. So if I focus on a lesser idea, I'm going to get more of that. If I focus on a greater idea, I'm going to get more of that.
I love that. Can you give an example of that? Because I think that is something that people don't really understand, because they think, they've heard their whole life, think positive, think positive, think positive. But a lot of times people don't really understand that technique that you just explained. It's so
Okay.
innate to you. You don't think about it as a technique, but it is a technique. So maybe
Well,
explain that.
I wouldn't call it a technique per se, in the sense that, like, when I went to sleep that night, I didn't know what was going to come to me. A technique, how you make it happen. But to me, it's an energy. We all have energy, and when we exercise, we might not even want to put our sneakers on and go exercise, but afterwards the experience has invited so much newness. So that's the equivalent that I can give in the short time we have together, that is going to come to you what it feels like. And it doesn't have to be words, because words don't always equate with the level of energy and power that you felt that says what you say, it's going to be all right, or you're that's all it said, is that everything is going to be all right. And it told me that, and once I felt that, then I believed it. But if we don't believe it and feel it, we can say all the words we want. So it's with our feelings too, that, we have to really feel it. And I would recommend that you go to a place in your mind where you did know where something was going to happen, and remember that, because that will remind you of what came to you and how that felt, because that's where you have to draw from.
Yes. Yeah, I work with a spiritual coach, and she always asks me when I talk to her about like some of the challenging things that come into my life, and she always talks about not focusing on those, but also she asks me if it feels good to focus on those, and I say no, and then she says, well, change your thoughts and focus on something that feels good. It's as simple as that. I think we get stuck sometimes. It's old thought patterns. You have a very strong mind. You've done a lot of work, and you've been in a state of allowance, for so long, but there are a lot of people that are very resistant to that. And they get stuck in those thought patterns that I call them like a saboteur, those voices that, that get in our head that tell us, you're not good enough, or you can't have it, you don't deserve it, you're not worthy, all those voices, and they get stuck in those. So
Because they haven't convinced themselves. The work I do is to help others to do it themselves. We often have other people that are telling us what to do and how to feel and asking you questions. They don't always ask the right questions for you. It might help in the moment, but when you dig deeper for yourself, and those are the tools that I give, I teach you how to fish so you can go fish. You can come back and get some new tackle, or, here's something new that I've done, but I pretty much give you what you do to remind yourself when you are by yourself in the middle of the night and there's nobody you want to call, because you'll wake them up and it'll send some other kind of signal about what's going on, and you can't explain it because it's inside of you. So the tools that are given with your being proactive and beginning with the end in mind and putting first things first, you don't need anybody. You need you for that. And when you take your walks, and when you read your book, and when you sit in silence, and when you laugh at something funny, or when you cry at something funny, or cry at something sad, all of those things help you to tune into how you're feeling about that. And there might not be a right question, but you always have the answers.
yes, we do always have the answers, don't we? And we forget for some reason that we do. We're always thinking we have to go to somebody else for them. Well, so many people think they have to go to
Well, initially, yeah, that's why we want people to talk to us, but we want you to talk to us so you'll be equipped, with beyond COVID-19 and beyond any other thing that life is going to bring you, because it's going to bring us things.
Yes.
And things we like and things we don't like.
Yes. Yes.
So
but that's what gives us contrast and allows us to really focus on the things we like. If we didn't have the things we didn't like or that were uncomfortable for us, we wouldn't be able to really revel in the things that we love. And so there's that. Anyway, with that, great conversation.
It is. So we'll show you how to reach out to us. Let me share my screen real quick.
And we're happy to be there for you. We do private consultations, or we can do them together, right?
Yes, we do. You can find us on Facebook, and you can find Julie's name there with all her options, and then you can make it. I have it all ready for you to set up an appointment with me. That's the very first link where I'm on Facebook. We'll set these out on our YouTube channel, so you can look there. I'm also assistant minister at Trinity Center for Spiritual Living, so you can live stream there on Sundays, and it's an opportunity for you to plug in. I know that I'll be doing more work there now that I will have more time to give myself. And, the universe is always working things out in a way greater than I can imagine. It's just not letting the fear. One of the other things I've been saying through COVID-19 that we can close with if we like, is let your faith be greater than your fears.
Ooh, very powerful.
All
I
right. Well,
love it.
thank you. We love you. Look forward to working with you. Thank you, Julie. Have a great day.